The AFL Today.
Welcome back. Today, St.Kilda Brisbane hit out at Waverley. Was the first time the two clubs had actually met at the ground. The Saints winning their last 4 meetings, however, with scores in excess of 20 goals each time. Winning margins of 108, 120, 69 and 77 points. Didn't really point to a close matchup, I guess, especially when Tony Lockett had booted 12 goals in the last game. Nonetheless, most would agree the Bears' form has been better this year, while it's no secret the Saints have been struggling in recent rounds as well. Sandy Roberts, Ian Robertson and Don Scott are our commentators, and we begin our coverage with some highlights of the first half.
Well, trapped there by Clark. Still a ball to be won. Low, handball, Anderson. Anderson a chance, unselfishly. They should get a goal here. Devonport over the top. Lockett is in the square on his own, and he'll kick it for St Kilda. Shares it with Greg. Greg from 70 metres out. Short pass, good, low. Low again, short kick. Into the pocket, mark taken by Winmar, who's covering some territory on that far wing. Nicky Winmar, very, very talented player for St Kilda. Only a few steps, guides the football and kicks a great goal.
Low, down to the forward line once again. White leaves Lockett and charges forward. But it's going to be St Kilda through Devonport. Shoots towards goal and has kicked a miraculous goal! Let's see if he can pump himself up after that tongue lashing. Down towards full forward, towards Merritt. Couldn't complete the mark. Oh, Buckley at the back. Can finish it up. And does. Chapman is going to kick the Bears down towards their forward zone. The hailstones continue to come down. There's a mark taken by Pios. Well, the visibility is so bad he had to put his hand up.
Well, he can look. He's got his head down into his shoulder, but to protect himself.
Exaggerating. I don't think we're all that far from snow here, you know.
Well, they're not disintegrating when they hit the ground. As Pios goes for goal, what has he done?
I think he's kicked it. Chance for Bingham. A high kick. Getting underneath it is Morris. Lockett is on his own. Back goes White. Lockett will come in front. And just a little bit too easy.
The ball disappears in those big hands of his.
This for number 821 in his career, straight through the middle.
And many said it was the biggest hailstorm to hit football since the first semi-final in 1957 between Hawthorn and Carlton. At half-time, St Kilda doing it well, 8-2 to 4-4. We pick up play now at the start of the third term.
Here now for the second half.
And Stuart Lowe's not there, Sandy. We saw him crash to the ground at the end of the second quarter, and he hasn't taken his place with the Saints in the third quarter, second half.
Well, that's bad news for St Kilda. Let's hope that it's not too serious, because they can well afford to lose him at this stage of the season. Atkinson gets it away to Nathan Burke. Burke pumps it up towards Lockett. Lockett has front spot. He charges to the football now, Tony Lockett. Gives it away to Anderson. Gets clear. Dean Anderson from 40 metres. Pulls it back in towards goal, and he's kicked it. Great start for the Saints in the second half.
Well, this is identical to what Brisbane did in the kicking the same way in the second quarter. It's the dry ball that's going to carry. This is exactly what Brisbane did do. And look at the carry on the ball from there. From Nathan Burke, then it's fed off by Lockett. Anderson getting it and doing it well.
And with the rain falling at Waverley, I get the impression that the lights are on. Very, very dim conditions prevailing here. Anderson races for it with Gastev. Little kick off the ground by Anderson. Goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Make it difficult now for the Bears to catch. I know it's only 28 points, but listen, this could be, what, 50-odd points, I would say, in conditions like today?
Yes, most definitely. In the next 28 minutes with St Kilda, with the breeze at their back, it's very important that the Bears somehow hang on.
Well, what have Brisbane done with their forward line? They've got Pios down in the square. He's playing at full forward on Shanahan, and White's at centre-half forward, so Merritt's not playing down there at the moment.
Oh, great mark taken by Grant. It was an excellent kick, first of all from Winmar, and Grant will shoot for goal from 50 metres, and it is a goal. So the Saints kick their second goal within a minute at the start of the third quarter, and they lead 10-2 to 4-4.
Well, I'm going to go for the records because that's David Grant's first goal for the season, I would say, and what a magnet kick that was. Every bit of 55 metres, the drop punt. Just checking the record to see whether it is his first goal, because he hasn't played too many games this year, Sandy. That's David Grant, number 6, a regular here at St Kilda for a number of years.
So the Saints gain the ascendancy early in the second half. Noonan couldn't take it. Burke at the bottom for St Kilda. Brodie Atkinson there also. Fletcher played with Geelong and St Kilda. Adrian Fletcher still in the middle. The rain comes down again. Scott has a belt at it, but goes straight to Craven, who runs into Winmar. Nicky asked the question, and he gets no joy from the man in white. Gregg tries a second attempt thump. Buckley. Suspect hand pass over his head. Buckley again. Towards Pios. Bounces away from him. Taken by Pickett. To Burke. Over to Gregg. Can go further afield to Rice. He's on centre wing. These sort of conditions should suit him. To half forward. Anderson. Almost threw out the back door. In fact, he did. So Gaster will take it from half back. Gives it away to Hart. A high kick up towards centre wing. Nathan Burke is there in opposition to Alexander. And the Saint number 3 takes the mark.
Nathan Burke, pretty good statistics. Away for Pickett, who also has played pretty well for...
He's actually done well this year for St Kilda in the back pocket, Pickett.
Well, he's played every game, so the select... high flyer. Chapman had his hands on the shoulders of Morris and gives away the free kick. So St Kilda would be a chance again if Morris thumps this, which he does, slips off the side of his boot, and Noonan marks in front of Lockett.
Does that well, Noonan. I've watched him a couple of times. Does get in and cut the ball out well.
Kick goes wide. Fletcher can't control it. Fletcher looking anxiously back. But I think all criticism should be thrown out the door on days like today, because the players are doing fairly well, I would think. Windy, rain, hail, we've had everything. Winmar, attempted kick off the ground. Harvey into the action there with Danny Craven. The ball goes over for another throw-in. Just outside 50 metres for St Kilda. Bingham, Scott gets the tap out. Goes back to Atkinson, close to the boundary line. And he gets his kick in. It's very effective to the front of the goals. Lockett can't mark. Back goes McLean. He'll give away a behind, I would think, to St Kilda. So that makes the Saints now 10-3, Brisbane 4-4.
Humorous little thing down the other end, a bit of byplay down the other end of the ground. Jamie Shanahan, it's so cold down here, he's waving his arms around, also blowing into his clenched fist, trying to warm up the finger, so it must be extremely cold for the players, especially when you're not involved, as he isn't at the moment. He's playing a full back. There's Pios, and there's Jamie Shanahan, number 31. Cold man.
The ball's at the other end of the ground at the moment, with Rice, who virtually scoops it out the bottom. Fletcher gets away a short kick. Giorgio could have been held. He was, said the umpire.
Goal umpire a bit lucky that Tony Lockett didn't run into him then, Sandy.
John Giorgio coming up for kick number 5 from 52 metres. A couple of early goals in this quarter, allowing St Kilda to sneak away. Bears haven't added to their half-time score. St Kilda going with what breeze there is. Giorgio, centering kick. Lockett is in front of the pack. Just a fraction too high for Winmar. Bain gets it away to Ashcroft. Marcus runs the boundary line, then pulls it into Gastev. Ashcroft again, who's drifted down to half-back. Shepherding sees him clear. Goes to centre wing. Ball was held to Danny Frawley. Eventually got it out to Burke.
Oh, that was throwing. Sure. Oh.
Too high. Too high. So Nathan Burke on centre wing. Centering kick. His target is Rice. At the back was Pekin. McLean runs into trouble. That was Brodie Atkinson he ran into. Ridden into the ground was Noonan by Giorgio, and he'll take the free. Gets the hand pass off to Clark. The Bears away from half-back. Towards the centre of the ground they go. Buckley tries to surge it forward for Kennedy. White is having not a good day, but it's been very difficult, particularly as he started on Tony Lockett, and Lockett kicked 3 in the first and 3 in the second. Rice at centre, saying send it down to the forward line. That's exactly what they do. Grant has kicked 1. He's got a chance to kick another, just 40 metres out, directly in front.
Achieved on his own for a long time.
A long time.
David Grant. Drop punt looks pretty good.
Kilda nearly getting the ball clear, but it was McLean who chopped it off for the Bears, away for Noonan. Noonan's kick to the 50-metre line. No mark taken. Shanahan, but chipping in is Buckley. Buckley's kick across his body will land in the goal square. Nearly the mark back there to Windsor, but St Kilda have got 3-on-1. And it's Pekin combining with Winmar, and away go the Saints. Winmar's little kick. Harvey dropped it, but he got the hand pass back to Winmar. Winmar, a short kick, and it's taken by Fletcher. Looking to play on. Kicks it high in the air, in towards centre half forward. Buckley nearly over the top of Whitman. Shanahan tries to get it back there to Whitman. He's forced to get it clear. Kick off the ground came from Pios, and it's close to the line. Eventually goes over for a boundary throw-in. Left forward pocket for the Brisbane Bears. They kicked 1 goal 3 in the first quarter going to this end. Bingham and Scott. Scott at the back somehow gets it clear, but Atkinson a little kick off the ground. Whitman drops it. Away goes Craven. Held and eventually made it look a little worse, I thought, than what it was, but the umpire awarding the free kick to the diminutive Brisbane Bears rover.
He's going to have a problem making the distance.
Well, the umpire asking Danny Craven to take the football back because obviously he hadn't finished his duties. Now Craven will shoot for goal. Still looking to give the football off. Whitman's got Buckley nicely marked. Craven goes for the torpedo punt kick. It holds up in the breeze. Punched away by Bingham. Taken by Bain. Oh, brilliantly tackled. That was fierce by Nathan Burke. And down went Bain and the football over for a throw-in.
Frawley. Gathered front spot, but taken by Fletcher. Craven. Left foot snap is high. Winmar. Oh, almost. In fact, he's going to be paid. It's been busy, Nicky Winmar. 12 kicks. 2 hand passes. Pekin gives it off to the running Nathan Burke. The Saints away, in towards the middle. Just a little nudge by Morris, but it was subtly done. Russell Morris looking up forward. Another penetrating punt. Mark not taken by Grant. Atkinson, well claimed. Ball spills out. Brodie Atkinson, my North Adelaide player.
Damon Shaw, Sandy, another first gamer warming up on the boundary line for St Kilda.
Burke, look at the determination of Nathan Burke. Burrows in, head down. Tap on to Morris. Now Harvey, Robert Harvey. Trying desperately to find some space to find Lockett. He's got to do it from behind. Play on! Anderson towards the boundary line. Keeps the ball in play, but he needs help. Gastev props over it. Devonport's away, but the whistle is sounded.
It's a better job by Murphy. He's playing in front. You can see there playing in front of Tony Lockett. Though Lockett attempting, it was Murphy who had hands on the ball first.
Fletcher skis over the line. Adrian Fletcher started with Geelong, spent time down at Moorabbin.
It's a free kick, surely a free kick to Dion Scott.
Well, it's not, Don. Play goes on. It'll be a goal too to St Kilda through Nicky Winmar.
That is... Yes.
2 goals to Winmar. He kicked one in the first. 12-3. The Saints are careering away with this game. 4-4.
Oh, that's just diabolical. Watch Tony Lockett here. Look, if that's not a free kick, look, if that's not a free kick, I'll go heat. The umpire's just not in the right position.
Yes, I have to agree with you, because there's been some very, very ordinary ruck decisions this year given, haven't there? 12-3 to 4-4, St Kilda lead. We're about halfway through the third quarter, so they're really making it difficult now for the Bears as Winmar kicks it clear. Out in front of Gastev. He's got a few metres to spare, so can gather, have a look upfield, and kick. Ball Buckley. No free kick forthcoming. Buckley skids across the boundary line. He's not happy. St Kilda defenders making it extremely difficult there. Pickett and Giorgio. Giorgio, one of the youngest players ever to play the game of AFL football, when he made his debut with St Kilda at the age of about 16, I think, Don, wasn't he?
Yes, last year.
Well, it's been a couple of years ago now. I think he's about 18 now, I think, John Giorgio, but he's been in the wilderness a little bit. But good to see him back in this St Kilda side. Look at that real struggle for possession there. And have a guess who's on the bottom of this. The best little featherweight chance you've ever seen in your life. I'd love to have seen him in a boxing ring, Sandy. Nathan Burke, I reckon he'd have given you the best money job you've ever had in your life.
Featherweight division, though.
Featherweight.
Winmar from the middle. Long kick towards Lockett. Unable to take the mark. It's socked back towards Ashcroft, and he takes it.
Played well, Marcus.
Probably their best player today,
yes.
Marcus Ashcroft.
15 kicks, 3 hand passes. Over the centre. Fine attempt by Frawley. Giorgio gets it away to Gregg. Back to Frawley. He's got Pekin running with him. Frawley to ground once. Pekin does the shepherding. He kicks up towards Lockett at half forward. There's a big pack there. Morris off the ground, but it ricochets backwards. Back to Ashcroft. Can he pick up the piece of soap? Now Fletcher off to Craven. The Bears up towards Nathan Buckley. Out in the sunshine. Buckley gets it away. David Baines under pressure. And Chris Whitman. Great tackling, great persistence.
I think that was one of his strong points when he was at Hawthorn, the fact that he didn't need to get a lot of possessions, but always was a fairly effective player, Chris Whitman. His good kick too, covers the pack. McLean at the back, finding it difficult at the first grab to control it. Then he gets a little left foot kick away, and the mark is taken by Young Shaw. Kicks it quickly, and Morris is marked within scoring distance.
Debatable whether it was a pass, but then again,
Not
if you
far
were
enough,
sure,
you think?
no, I thought he might have been going for a longer kick and just didn't quite get onto it.
Yep.
But he did find Morris with the kick.
Well, Morris has done pretty well, I think, for St Kilda in difficult conditions. A tall player. He's taken 8 marks. And coming up for possession number 17, or disposal number 17. And he just stabbed at that.
Didn't he? He really didn't follow through.
How many points out of 10 for that kick? About 4?
Well, yes, maybe 4, but you stab at it when you're a little bit closer to goal.
Kick in by Murphy, and he gets good distance too, well outside 50 metres. In goes Rice. Oh, kick off the ground by Ashcroft. Unfortunately for Marcus, Ashcroft goes out on the full free kick to Rice.
Dean Rice into the pocket. Atkinson and McLean, the 2 19s, see it over the line. For another throw-in. Lockett. Seemed to come off the head of Scott, who's in there once again for Brisbane. Lockett. Yes. Well, he just surged it forward. He's kicked their 13th and his 7th.
Well, I've run out of space for all these goals Tony Lockett's kicked today. And as Sandy just said, he's kicked his 7th. Here he is contesting the ruck work. Ball in dispute, a pack. And it comes out to Lockett, who's just on the edge, and he just manages with his great bulk not to be pushed off the ball and just gets foot to ball as it goes over for his 7th.
Well, it's a top effort by Tony Lockett to kick 7 goals in these very difficult circumstances. The Bears get the ball forward. Fletcher off to Buckley. Buckley's kick. Pios nearly takes the mark. Shanahan making it very ordinary. Alexander. Oh, he bounces it through for a behind. And the oohs and ahs were quite prevalent then as Colin Alexander tried to bounce it through. Danny Frawley kicks it away for St Kilda. Well outside the danger area for the Saints, and Atkinson takes the mark. His short kick out into the path there of Bingham. The big fellow lumbering after it. On the bottom of that is Sean Hart, and Bingham gives away a free kick. Maybe a little crude there in his attempt to get rid of the football from Sean Hart. And Hart kicks the ball up near the 50-metre line. Good mark taken by Frawley. Looking to give the hand pass away, but no sirree, says Danny. I'll kick it long. Up goes Morris, kicked away there by Whitman, up to the 50-metre line. A real clash there between Rice and his opponent. McLean dispossessed, away goes Anderson. Anderson for his 2nd goal, and it bounces through.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Well, result probably not really in doubt at three-quarter time. The Saints well in command, leading 92-47. However, Plugger hadn't finished his day.
In towards half-forward. Lockett came steaming out. Morris shovels it out. Burke goes to ground. Lockett is there. The big man has it. This for number 8. Oh, yes! What a goal! Pios rides a couple of bumps, but the ball spills free. Shaw down towards full forward. Gregg, little chip for Lockett. How's that for unselfishness? What a clever little chip, too.
It was a nice little chip to the green, wasn't it? So good conversion rate.
This for number 9. He's made no mistake.
Anderson from 50 metres. Kicks into the front of the square. Lockett! Yes! Fair enough. Oh, he's a good kick.
10 for Tony Lockett.
And Dean Rice eventually gets his rewards. A little kick. Burke, hand pass. Back away for Devonport. Devonport into the pocket. Lockett gathers it beautifully. Round onto the left foot. And he goes long with a lovely kick. What a goal!
Oh, number 11.
Yes, and Plugger finishing up with 11 goals this afternoon in bleak conditions at Waverley. A top effort from him. Nicky Winmar got 4.
By easily beating Brisbane in Arctic-like conditions, the Saints, inspired by spearhead Tony Lockett, led at every change to win by 55 points. Despite the atrocious conditions, Plugger finished with 11. Yesterday, the Bears left the Sunshine State where the temperature was 22 degrees. 2 hours south, and the mercury was 8 degrees this afternoon, although it was Brisbane that coped better in the trying conditions early on in the first term. Finally, Tony Lockett started to see the ball, and the big man was in a menacing mood.
Lockett, too strong.
He then cleaned up Gastev late as St Kilda kicked 5 goals in 9 minutes to set up a 22-point lead at quarter time. Plugger had 3. Brisbane coach Robert Walls was seething with the Bears' lack of commitment, and their cause wasn't helped in the second term by a freak hailstorm.
I'm not exaggerating. I don't think we're all that far from snow here, you know.
Sandy Roberts wasn't far off the mark. Paul Pios shielding himself from the hailstones and amazingly kicked a goal. Eventually it subsided, although the Lockett show continued, kicking another 3 goals, and the Saints went to half-time ahead by 22 points. And more of the same in the second half from St Kilda, Plugger increasing his tally and helping the Saints to a 43-point lead at three-quarter time. There was no reprieve for the Bears in the final term. Winmar finished with 4 goals, but the hailstorm and the Lockett Cyclone stole the headlines at Waverley. This was number 11.
And he goes long with a
15 minutes before the Bears kicked the first goal and 20 minutes before St Kilda finally converted. After that, though, the floodgates opened for the Saints. They booted a total of 5 goals in 9 minutes to race to a 22-point lead at the first change. Bears coach Robert Walls was obviously less than happy, particularly with Dion Scott. There were 2 highlights in the second quarter. Firstly, a fierce hailstorm that left both the players and the crowd fighting for self-preservation. The other feature was the performance from Tony Lockett. Plugger had 6 by half-time and the Saints led by 22 points. In the third term, St Kilda completely took over. 2 goals in the opening minute set the pattern as the Saints bulldozed their way to a 43-point lead at the last change. Brisbane tried hard, kicking a few consolation goals in the final term, but St Kilda had too much talent. Lockett finished the day with 11 goals in an outstanding performance. The Saints home easily by 55 points.
Great hip and shoulder, Lockett on Gaster.
Well,
and how do you like to have been playing out there?
Look at that.
the hailstones continue to come down. There's a mark taken by Pios. Well, the visibility's so bad he had to put his hand up.
Well, he can look. He's got his head down.
Don Scott lost for words almost. And what a goal by Lockett. He kicked a couple of gems yesterday. This was a beauty.
Burke goes to ground. Lockett is there. The big man has it. This for number 8. Oh, yes!